Hi folks, today's video is about the Ibanez JEM Juniors and why I'm sticking with this one, which is around a 2006 or 2007 Korean made one. Now, I used to own a 2002 model of this, which I actually preferred to this one, and I'll go into detail why. But these used and the current Ibanez JEM Junior are very similar priced. For what you pay for a brand new JEM Junior, around 550 euros, you get one of these, which are the Korean made versions, in absolute pristine condition. This is far from pristine, but it's a good reference point because this has suffered years of abuse and has stood up very, very well. So, where to begin is essentially based on my experience. I've had two of these. I've had an Ibanez JEM premium model, the Indonesian premium, which was the blue floral with DiMarzio Gravity Storm pickups. And I had one of the modern JEM Juniors, albeit it was the yellow one with the pink pickups. And these are the best. That should pretty much sum up the video, but I'm going to go into detail why. A couple of reasons to start with, but also a little caveat and a little warning if you're looking for this model. The difference, the first noticeable difference, is the neck. Yes, you only have the vine inlay up to the 12th fret, and then it's dots, and then you have a Steve Vai's name there, which I was never overly fond of, but I've grown to ignore that fact and just class it as a really good guitar. The monkey grip, as you know, very, very handy thing. End of gig, hold the guitar up in the air, kind of looks the part. And it's only a few people in the know that really know, oh, that's a Steve Vai signature model. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, the neck. This model has the genuine Ibanez JEM neck profile, which compared to the modern version, which is the Wizard 3, is slightly different. The nut width is the same. That is 19mm, but it's slightly narrower. It is 2mm narrower at the 12th fret on this model. But the biggest difference actually is in the radius. Now, going by my notes that I'm quickly glancing down to, the Wizard 3 neck, the radius here, is 15 3/4 inches, which is a pretty flat neck. I'll give you that. That's, you know, my Jacksons are 16 inch at their flattest. So 15 3/4, pretty flat neck. However, the JEM neck, which is on this, is 17 inches. It is incredibly flat, which tends to not suit chord work down here quite as much, but let's be honest, this is a shredding guitar. 17-inch radius on the neck makes this absolutely fly, and there's no chance of it choking out at all. So that's the first thing. And here comes the little caveat though. This model, as you see there, has got the nut drilled right through. And on this it's been fine. I've got 4 or 5 other Ibanez with this system, and they're fine. There's not an issue. However, there is cases of that cracking there. So if you're in the used market and that's what you're looking for, that's the first thing to check. Always check around the nut in case there's any cracking in the neck. If there is, just leave it. Wait for another one to appear. I've had no problems. And like I say, this is a 2006 or 2007 model. The next thing I will mention is the trems. Now, I had the newer JEM Junior, which has a kind of its own version of a Floyd Rose. It's not an Ibanez trem. It's not a low Pro or low TRS or TRS2 or Pro 3 or whatever. And I really didn't like it at all. It wasn't as good as like a 1000 series Floyd even, which I've got 1000 series on my Kramer and on my Jackson Pro. Actually, I don't think it was even as good as the Floyd Rose Special, which is on my EVH Wolfgang. So that's not good. That's something that you would really change out. And people that have gems this model of Gem Junior do tend to mod them a lot, and that's great to see. There's some amazing mods done. But this comes with, again, this has got the Edge 3 trem. And the Edge 3 is not great, but I would say it's better than the one that's on the current Ibanez Gem Junior. However, the model before this, which was before 2006, I think, came with one that was called the Edge Pro 2, which I have on this HG Geiger RG with the neck through. I'll show you that one. It's a different design, and you don't actually have to cut the ball ends off. These come far enough back to drop the whole string through. Now, again, I wouldn't say this is as good as obviously a Japanese low pro, but it's actually a pretty good trem. This has stood up well, but it is a little bit softer. It's not as good. But in both cases, better than the one in the Gem Junior. So that's enough of that. The big elephant in the room when you're looking at these are the pickups. Now, the white Gem Junior comes with the Ibanez Quantum pickups, which I really do not like. And the yellow one I had came with the INF pickups. Now, I have a very much love-hate relationship with those pickups because I have one pair of those pickups in this guitar, in this HG Geiger, that I adore. All the rest of them I've swapped out. Never liked them. However, if you're in the market for a Gem Junior, or Gem 555, which this is, these come with genuine DiMarzio Evolution humbucker. Evolution single coil as well. So all DiMarzio, all the real deal, all the same pickups that were on the Ibanez Gem 7V, the white one, the one that everybody knows Vi played. So you're getting genuine DiMarzio pickups, and you're getting a genuine Ibanez Gem neck or neck profile for basically the same money as a Gem Junior today, which has none of that. And you would tend to go and upgrade the pickups. Now, a lot of people just go and buy a set of DiMarzio Evolutions and drop them in, but you're looking at essentially €100 a pickup. So a bit of false economy there if you're buying a €550 guitar, popping in €300 of pickups, maybe a couple of €100 on a trem. You're really ramping up the price. Now, this is another thing to look for. These all came with a really, really nice hard case. A lot of people will have either kept the case or sold them on separately, but if you keep looking, as I did with this, you will find an Ibanez Gem 555 made in Korea by, I think it's Cortec that made these, with a genuine Ibanez hard case. And I paid under €300 for this one. And it's fantastic. Basswood body, very, very light, and plays absolutely beautifully. So I'll give you a rundown on some sounds because why not? And I'm going into my PV Ultra Plus and into the Harley Benton 4x12 there and the PV 4x12 behind me. I've got a touch of delay from the Line 6 M13, and that is it. No boosts, nothing else, and we'll go into the bridge pickup It's the same switching configuration in all the JEMs. It's the standard Ibanez 5-way switching. The Dimarzio Evolution pickups are really, really good. They're quite a hot pickup. You're looking at about 14 kilo ohms around there. But they're not overly cooking you. They're not quite as hot as the Seymour Duncan JB, and they're certainly nowhere near, you know, a Seymour Duncan Distortion or any of the more modern ones. Much hotter than a PAF Pro, but still a very controllable pickup. And quite hi-fi sounding. They're quite articulate and crisp, and they really are a tight tone. So bridge pickup, just a standard clean sound. So a bit of attack, they're good clarity for a humbucker, a hot humbucker pickup. And roll it off. Great, it's a nice pickup. Position 2, where you're using, I think it's the inner coil of the humbucker and the middle. Into just the middle evolution. Quite weak. Not a pickup I use very much on its own. It just doesn't seem to balance very nicely, and I like the middle pickup screwed quite low as well and get it out of the way. Granted, when it's raised up, it's got more output, but I don't use it much, so I keep mine well down. And into position 4, which is very much your kind of stratty. So it's nice and lively, it's quite a bright pickup. That is not a bright amplifier, by the way, it's quite a dark amp. And that sounds great. The neck pickup is very big. For a clean sound, it's maybe overpowering when the volume's on full. As you hear, it's a big jump in volume. And even the glories of YouTube compression will pick that up. But just touch the volume back. This model doesn't have treble bleed circuit either, so when you roll back it does get a touch darker. So there you go, clean's done. That's that bit done. Now I'll just go to a crunch sound. And again, the crunch is quite dark because it's not boosted. I tend to use, in this case, a Wampler Triumph, and that adds a little bit of top end sizzle, but I'll leave that off just now. And the bridge pickup with some heavy crunch, because the Ultra is quite a heavy crunch channel. I guess being a Steve Vai guitar, you need a token. I don't know the rest of it, that'll do. So it's a great, fantastic bridge pickup for rhythm playing and lead playing. It with a boost on, absolutely screams. Even with this amount of gain, it's fantastic for that. And we've got quite a lot of gain running, but turn that down. Still quite gainy, but so there we go. Position 2. This is where you can roll that back though. Middle pickup on volume full. But because this has got such a low output, this really does clean up. To the bridge and you've got whack. Into position 4. And volume back. And the neck pickup. Now, the neck pickup now works really nicely. It's got a lot of output, but it's not muddy. So, yeah, it sings even with a heavy gain like this. So there's your rhythm, bridge pickup, into the neck. It's still got a bit of spank, not as much. And I'll give it a boost, just for the sake of having this with all the gain. Crunch channel again, there's no need for the lead channel in this beast. So there we go. There's a sample of some of the sounds. It's still the same Ibanez Access neck joint. The thing I will say about this trem that I will add is these have a little Allen screw that tightens the bar on. It's not the knurled thumb screw. So this tends to stay where I want it on both models. they have this. So they don't have that tendency to unwind like you get on a Floyd Rose or even on some of the newer Indonesian Ibanez RGs. The trem just undoes. This stays nice and tight, and it doesn't go tick 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 tick, which is really nice. So just to let you hear the trem. And that's what I like. It doesn't have this rattle. I've actually got an Ibanez over here, which has got the trem that I don't particularly like. It's this little knurled thing here. And you tend to play it for a while and this works loose, and then the bar's doing this and you get this noise. And then you have to tighten it up again. And tighten it up again. And you still get it. Whereas with the old JEM 555, you don't get that noise, which is a nice little feature and something that personally I prefer. So there we go. Like I say, I picked this one up for under 300 euros. You see them everywhere around 350, 400, 500. From likes of even music shops, you'll still get them for around 500 euros. So they're absolutely fine. If you hear the creaking, that's the cat just running by. And I would say if you're looking for a JEM and you're looking for the JEM Junior price range, this model is the one to go for. Now, I will say just before I go, ignore the crackle finish. This has had so many bashes and so many war wounds, I decided to cover up the black. They come in black or white, but this was the black one, and this crackle finish isn't a finish. This is just a glorified sticker. It's a decal I got from Axe Decals in the UK, and just cut it out, stuck it on, bunged a black scratch plate on top of it, job done. And it just tidied it up because this has got holes in the finish now, which I did fill before I put this on, but it still was looking the worse for wear. And it's a working gigging tool, so I didn't fuss too much. Standard thing I always fit, just the Dimarzio clip lock straps. I do that with really all my guitars. And a fantastic tool, not a lot of money, and I would say infinitely better buy than the current JEM Juniors, which I love the look of them. I'm a little disappointed in the quality of them, and that's why I no longer have one. I got rid of it and I went back to my old faithful. So look for these. They did change the neck around 2008, so if you go pre-2008, they're the ones to go for. I would say around 2000 to 2008 are the good ones. The slightly earlier ones come with the better trem, in my opinion. So that's what to look for. So there you go. 25 minutes all about a guitar that you can get second hand. And it's a fantastic Ibanez to get. For the money, it's excellent. Just as an Ibanez to have, it's excellent. And my final word is, I rate these higher than the premium made Indonesian ones, which are now 1,500 euros. I find these a better guitar. So, because I had one of those, like I said, the floral one. Thank you very much. Another video for you very, very soon. Hope this is of use to you, and happy hunting. Bye-bye.